All right, gonna keep going here. We've got the floor. Let me show you how it is. So we got about a foot of snow between last time and now, so I had to just let things warm up a bit. There's still a little ice here and there, but I'm not worried about that. You can see it's mostly drying out. And if I wait again, who knows how long it'll be till next time I get a chance. Anyways, got a few boards here that'll show the pattern I'm gonna follow for the rest of it. So the join here, centered on those joists for the subfloor, and then the top floor is gonna join centered on those joists right there all the way across. And the door will come in here. Then, so that's the lowest. I'll show you what I'm going to do so that this gets flush to the exit. And that is a big part of what I've been thinking about the last couple of days is just the threshold, because I don't want to have steps up and down and all that. I want to be able to walk in and not worry about it. This is raised off the ground, so to step up just for the threshold, to step down again, or to build something that occupies more space, that's not what I want to do. Just want to keep it flush. So I'll show you when I get to that point what I'm going to do there. But that's going to be right in between these, so there's not going to be any seams right where you walk in. And so what I'm going to do is fill in the spaces, and then I'll pre-drill and get these where they join screwed down. And I might put a couple in the side where the door is, just to make sure we never kick it and lift it up or anything as we walk through. It doesn't warp with time, since that's going to be the only exterior space that's not held down by the wall itself, since I'm going to be keeping the threshold completely flush with the floor slight outward slant for part of it. That's it. And so that's what we're going to do. And this is a bucket of screws that I pulled out of the pallets that they come with, or that all these boards are from. So that's what's that? When it was just powdered milk, it was 3.5 pounds. It's a lot more than that now. But in this project, I pulled out way more than this from these pallets, so it's allowed me to do everything you see, plus probably a couple of those all together. And that's just what I've used, and obviously have a lot left to build. So that is going to increase and get consumed as I continue to go along and construct the rest of the cabin. But because I'll be using it and getting more, it's a self-renewing resource, considering my source of wood, of construction materials. So this is all recycling pallets that were going to the dump. I mean, literally, we worked out with the company for me to recycle them, to take them away, where they just sit them out next to the dumpster, and the trash guys haul them away if I don't. So any excess can go to the firewood pile, and you can see that over there above the canoe, some of the excess in there in the firewood pile. A little A-frame. Someday I'll do a build video on that. I'm planning on doing a couple more of those. But all of these resources, the only cost has been fuel and manual labor. So that's all been out of myself, and I regularly drive by where I need to go pick them up, so it's not huge out of the way, and it's not a real long distance from where I'm at anyway, so it's not a significant additional cost to go pick up the lumber or the lumber source. And that's something you'd have to do anyways, whether you're going to the forest or you're going to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever big box store you want. And so that's not something I'm really considering in the cost here, because I'd have to spend fuel no matter what, and I'd have to go pick it up and pick it out no matter what. And just as a side note, I really like the patina it takes on. This fence for the garden is made from the same, and so is that one over there. And so this was put in after that was put in. But you can see it's going the same direction, because it was this color. It's kind of golden color, and now it's getting more of a nice soft grade patina, just naturally. So it's been there a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, both of those. So that's a color I like, and I'm not decided on whether I'm going to stain it or just let it patina and then seal it. But that's all just ideas and thoughts. You can see how that floor, so that's got 3 deep, and then the very last one I'll cut to fit on this end over here. And once those are screwed down, that will be it. I'll be ready to go on with raising the frame. And something's going to be built as I go. It's not like I'm going to pre-build a wall and put it up, since this is a log style, a log cabin, 6-7 inch thick walls all the way up. That is going to be just one after the other, and after I get the door framed out, then I'll go with all of this. That back wall I'm planning so far to be just completely solid, but we'll see what I decide later on. And I think I'll probably just keep it solid. It'd be nice to have one good solid wall. I'll have windows and doors and others. So 3 windows here, taking up most of the space. 2 windows over here is the plan. The door in the center, and then 2 windows up here on the front. And right now I'm planning on doing an 8-foot deep deck or porch with a 4-foot wraparound. So we'll see what I decide on there, but that's the plan so far. And that's it for now. Let's get on with it. Let's get this floor in. So right now I'm making sure that that first board from the wall is going to keep everything, or it's going to fit, and then I'll keep everything straight and tight built up to it. Now, instead of having to worry about keeping that board, worrying about keeping that board vertical there, what I'm going to do is just screw in temporarily the board that's closest to the door on this side, and that way I can push everything up and in and keep it solid and remove that vertical board so that I don't have to worry about it moving around, since it's not held in place by anything but gravity and the little lip out in that tiny groove from the edge wall. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Just tap down the end. what I just did there, I'll show you. I tacked down the edges. I'm going to join them, and I didn't pre-drill that one. And you can see it cracked, which is the whole reason why I usually pre-drill. So I pre-drilled all the rest, and that uncovered. And then when this cabin's not permanent home, then I just fill those. I flush cut them off with a dowel, and a couple dowels that are a couple bucks each from the store, or just branches to fit if that's what you wanted to do for absolute zero cost. Yeah, we'll take care of the whole floor. And I tack on the corner as well over here. That way, nothing's gonna push on it when I snug these other boards up to it. Doesn't move any. And because I know I'm going to do the threshold here, and this is a long stretch of board that would otherwise be unsupported, and could potentially warp since it's going to be getting more weather than anything else other than the threshold itself. I went ahead and countersunk and pre-drilled and put one in between each, one screw in between each joist for the whole section where I'm generally going to be putting the door. So that gives a good hold on that board, and I don't have to worry about that coming up or doing anything. It's that little bit of movement that you can see, if you can see it there. That's a lot of upward pressure that will never be happening. And these boards are going to be screwed down a lot more than they are, because those will be screwed down there, and these will all be screwed down here. So it's not going to have even that amount of give. Plus, you're never going to be getting underneath it, lifting it up like I just did, and the threshold will be flush right into it. So that's not going to be an issue. I'm going to go ahead and screw these few boards down that I have in place, and then I'll go on and fit the rest and then screw them down. And what I'm doing is I take a screw, what I'm going to use, and then I make sure that the boards that I'm drilling through have a bit that's just a little smaller than the teeth. So the teeth run wider than the bit. So I pre-drill because I don't need it splitting, and I don't need anything. This doesn't have to hold for anything more than the teeth, really. It's a little bit of pressure over a lot of teeth, and that'll hold it in place the way I want. And so you can see here, I can't fit that in the hole that the bit came out of, but taking that amount of material out from where I'm placing this makes a significant difference, enough to where it doesn't split, as you can see right there. So that one split without it, and these ones did not split. Just had a little surface tear out because these are all wet, and I'm not really worried about that. So if I were really worried about it, I'd wait until they were 100% dry, but you know what? It's a cabin floor, and I can seal right over that anyways after I sand it down and finish it. So it's going to look nice, and that won't even be noticed. So that's how it's going to be. Now for the countersink, instead of spending money on a special bit, which I've had and I appreciate, but yeah, what I do is I find a hole where the head will go through, just barely fit through, and I take that bit and I drill out the depth that I want to countersunk. So I'm not really particular on this one. It's gone down enough to where it's about there. So I can get a good, once I am ready to finish this, I can pound the dowel and cut it off, and it's not going to pop out. So that's what I wanted. And let's see if I can give you a good example of how I do all this here. See if you can see with this. Get you propped up here so it doesn't fall. Give me a sec. Okay. So right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Just trying to check, make sure you can see where I placed the camera. Okay. Right here where they butt up together. I'll show you how I fit them. Now when you're doing this part, you got to be real careful, because once this grabs in, that bit really goes down real quick. So if you don't want to go all the way through on accident, then watch it. Otherwise that board will be, or those holes in that board will be useless to hold anything down. And be careful not to put too much torque on it. No, don't get it in there and strip things out. So I made sure that on that end, this board is flush with that board, and then I made sure it was flush this way. And now I can bring this board, I'm going to go down to the end and tap it down so it puts it real tight to that one. Okay, now that's right up the way I want it. I'm going to tap it out toward that outer board. That way those are flush. And I want to make sure that they're not using everything totally the same dimension, that this width is the same as this width, because not all my boards are. Then I'm going to line up my holes so it looks kind of symmetrical. Again, it's not the most important thing for me because of the application of this being a cabin. Whereas if this were a home you wanted a really super fine finish, then of course you wouldn't be using this kind of wood. But you could definitely do this and flush cut a dowel off, and you'll notice if you look at it, but you'll never see a screw once it's completely finished. So there we have it. Those are countersunk, pre-drilled, and they're ready to be filled with the dowel, or left the way they are, which is my plan, and I'm going to be able to extract them later for reinstallation when this cabin is complete and is relocated to a permanent location. So that's how I'm going to do all of the flooring. And you can see there, the boards are not totally flush, but I am going to be sanding this floor down later once I finish the whole thing. And see, this can be tapped that way, which will be done and worried about at the very end when the whole floor is complete. And I'm not going to worry about it between now and then. And that is also a big part of the reason why I wanted these to be staggered. See, the subfloor, the boards span here, and they join here. And then the top floor is staggered, just like you do masonry work, covering that seam. And the same for these, where they butt together. See, yes, it's on the joist, but it's also completely covered here. And they join here. So just like that section, that's covered and sealed together as well. And that is how I'm going to make sure that the whole floor is tight. So I don't have anything coming up from below. And if I do, then any way I finish it, they would have come up from below. So that is how I'm going about it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll keep you updated and do some more filming as we go. So if you have any experience doing anything similar to this, then please let me know. And if it's totally failed you and the reason why, please put that in the comments. I appreciate it. So I decided that since I want these boards to be real tight together and some are a little bit warped, that I'm going to use my pipe clamps. I've got this one, got a couple of really long ones that I use for tables that just haven't cut down, so that'll stretch most of the way across this way as I work that direction. So that lets me know things like right here. So I went ahead and clamped that together this way, and it pulled it a good bit closer on that end. I'm thinking I might have to occasionally tack down the ends so they don't buckle on me. As you can see, this is nice tight together, and it opens up over there. But that also lets me see that this board is wider than that one. This board's wider there than that one, and so I'll have to rip that off so that we get the same width. That way I'm not going off when I put the board right here. I don't have a big old gap there, and so like I do right here. So yeah, that's exactly what'll happen if I don't do it. Now, I ripped some of these down, but not all of them. But since this is going to be the top floor, I don't want any kind of gaps like that. I just want it to be solid, nice, smooth finish like that instead of a hole. So it's real simple. I just get a table saw, set it to that distance, push it through, and then put it in place just like on there. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get these lengths cut so we can just do all of the same thing at the same time, cutting lengths and then ripping the boards and then screwing them down. Because I'm not going to know which ones I need to rip until I get them all cut and laid in place, and that way I know that which one is put to the next one is the same or not the same width. So that's what I'm going to do. Just that update there, and on we go. Now this is the perfect example of that board I just cut and laid on top. That is the same width as the thicker one, the wider one, I mean, that I was going to have to rip later. And so I'm just going to unscrew the one I screwed down and use that in place of that one there. And then I won't have to rip either of those two boards. So that's the nice part about doing this as I go and screwing it down after it's all laid out. decided to tack down the outsides just so that I can keep things controlled to the width. I'm not worried about running out of screws. Like I say, that's not a cost at all. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'd rather have the tight boards that I want. Those are going to be covered almost if not completely anyway, so I'm not worried about countersinking them or anything, so I'm not losing a whole lot of effort or time there. And I'm liking how I get them significantly tighter than they would, because there's a little bit of bowing, like, so instead of totally straight on the edge, some of them are curved a little bit one way or the other, and by using the pipe clamp, that resolves that issue. Here's a perfect example. So you can see it's tight, it seems tight there, but then it just bows out, and so if I push on this side, the other side will pop out, and having the pipe clamp there to tighten it down and place it, and then to tighten the other side down and place the screws in, that's going to resolve that issue. And so right here, since I've got that same issue, that one's a little wider, I can play around with the boards that I've already cut for this side and swap them around until I find one that's totally flush width to that one, since it's already screwed down on both ends, and I don't want to try and pick it up. So what I'm going to do is play around with those until I get the right width. And yeah, it's not just the opposite end. Some of these a little bit wider than others I want them. So that's the same, that's the same, that's the same, and that's the same. So I will end up having to rip some, get them a little thinner, and that's one of them. But it's not a big deal. It's an easy thing to do, and that does mean that I will have to wait to screw any more down until that one is ripped to the proper width. And that also means that if I have a lot of the other boards that are a little bit thinner than that, it means that all the rest are going to need to be ripped that little tiny bit. But since I'll set it with one, it'll be the same width for the rest, so it'll be super easy, just a quick pass and on the table saw, and that's it. So now over here, I haven't finished this side, but over here that's completely done for all of the finishing that's going to get until everything else is complete. And once I get that side screwed down, this whole section, this whole entryway basically, it's the floor's about a third done. So yep, third of the way done, a little over a quarter ish. So I'm just going to keep that up, and I'll have you join me when I get a little more progress on there. Okay, buddy, I want you to show this. Okay, so we have the make sure they can see what I'm saying. Okay, got the clamps here. Now these are 10-foot pipe clamps. So
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Keep showing. These are 10-foot pipe clamps, and so because the outside is 10 foot, the inside is slightly under that, and I've got two of them. Show the one over there and the one over here. So at every joint I was able to...
And he has an orange one.
That's right, I started out with the orange one.
Yep, see it, guys?
And so
here are his screws and his ultimate drill. No, this is the ultimate drill.
you got it right. So we are...
And this is the old drill.
Yeah, that one still works.
Yep, but let's see the battery. I want to show them.
Show them right here. So I'm doing countersink because that way, you see, these ones are not countersunk; those are flush, and they will be under the wall. These ones are countersunk because they will be in the middle of the floor, and see how they're down below the top. Then I can put a dowel in there, flush cut it, and finish the floor with that totally hidden once this cabin's in its permanent location. So what you just saw was the very last set of screws that we need, and
I want to show them.
Show me, bud. The floor is in. You want to turn?
Yep.
Okay. Do your floors done dance. Whoop whoop! High five.
And let's show them the batteries of these.
How about you show them that you can dance anywhere you want in the cabin now? Hold on.
It's 3 batteries.
And that one doesn't have one. The little batteries don't have a measure. Just show.
How many batteries does it have?
How many lights? It doesn't have any lights, buddy. Okay.
Battery lights.
Nope, no battery lights on that one. Okay. So, I want you
What
to...
does this button do?
That changes the direction. So this one goes backward to take something out. Put it right one click, and it's halfway in, halfway out on both sides.
How do
You can't do anything. That is a trigger lock
How do you click it?
with the thumb. And that way it goes in. See? All right. Okay, buddy. Hey. Look at me. This is a little celebratory video to show that the floor is done.
Yeah, and look at the battery, guys. It's 3%.
3 out of 4. That's 75%.
75, but it looks like 3 to me.
Yep, it's not 75 buttons, buddy. 3 out of 4 is 75%. It's 3/4. Yep, that's how it works. All right.
This one down to go.
Now they're all off. Okay, bud. Just want to mention that that is all of the screws that I used. You can see it's down about a 1/2 inch on one side and about 1 inch on the other side from the top. And that's it. Now, okay, Jules, you're up. Floor is complete.
Yep.
Hurrah, hurrah!
Yeah.
Jump around. Show me. Show me if the floor moves.
Nope. And look what I can do. I can go to the snow, but not with so many heavy stuff.
So run and jump. You can start at the other end.
I cannot do it.
Oh, that's okay. I'll teach you how. Okay, buddy. So, what did you want to say? Ciao?